Auvers-sur-Oise, France. Late July 1890. The wheat fields outside the village stand tall beneath a heavy summer sky, and a lone figure walks along a narrow path between them. He carries painting equipment rather than luggage, moving slowly but deliberately. This is Vincent van Gogh, 37 years old. Today he is known as one of history's most influential painters. At the time, he was a largely unknown artist, renting a small room above a village inn. Weeks earlier, he had left the asylum at Saint-Rémy and traveled north to Auvers-sur-Oise. He came hoping to recover his health while continuing to paint. A local physician, Dr. Gachet, agreed to monitor his condition. Their exact treatment is unclear, but they met regularly. Van Gogh established a daily routine almost immediately. Each morning, he walked into the countryside to paint outdoors. He worked with unusual speed, sometimes completing a canvas in a single day. Wheat fields, cottages, trees, and village roads became his repeated subjects. In just a few weeks, he produced dozens of paintings. To the villagers, he appeared quiet, solitary, and focused on his work. He stayed at the Auvers-sur-Oise. His room was small and sparsely furnished, with canvases stacked along the walls. Evenings were uneventful. He ate simple meals and often returned early to his room. No surviving letters exist from his final 2 days. Because of this, historians do not know his private thoughts during this period. On July 26, 1890, he was seen painting outdoors again. Witnesses later described his behavior as calm and typical. He met briefly with Dr. Gachet that day. No record survives of what they discussed. That evening, he returned to the inn as usual. Nothing appeared unusual to those around him. On the morning of Sunday, July 27th, Van Gogh left the inn carrying his painting supplies. He walked toward the fields outside the village. At some point that afternoon, he sustained a gunshot wound to the abdomen. No one witnessed the moment itself. The widely accepted explanation is that he shot himself with a small revolver, though historians still debate the circumstances. The exact time and details remain uncertain. He did not die in the field. Instead, he stood and walked back into the village. He climbed the stairs to his room at the Auvers-sur-Oise. He arrived wounded but conscious. The innkeeper noticed his condition and summoned help. Dr. Gachet was called immediately. The bullet had not exited his body. Medical treatment in a rural village offered few options. No surgery was performed and no antibiotics existed. Doctors could only make him comfortable and wait. Van Gogh remained lucid that evening. He spoke quietly and asked for his brother Theo to be notified. Witnesses later described him as calm. He did not explain the shooting. Theo Van Gogh traveled to Auvers and arrived the following day. By then, Vincent's condition had worsened. Infection and internal injury had begun to develop. Fever and exhaustion became visible. Friends and caretakers stayed near the bed. The small room turned into a quiet vigil. He drifted between wakefulness and fatigue. Little conversation was recorded. Medical care was limited to comfort measures. There was no effective treatment available. By the second night, his breathing became shallow and irregular. Theo remained at his bedside. He was reportedly conscious and calm near the end. A statement later recorded by his brother survives. The sadness will last forever. The exact wording cannot be fully verified, but it is preserved in early accounts. In the early hours of July 29, 1890, Vincent van Gogh died in his bed at the inn. He was 37 years old. His funeral was small and local. At the time, he had sold very few paintings. In the months following his death, his brother Theo worked to preserve and exhibit his art. Recognition began slowly. Within decades, his paintings would reshape modern art. The village where he lived became a place of pilgrimage. The room where he died still exists, and the fields he painted remain largely unchanged. The events themselves left few dramatic records and many uncertainties. In a quiet field near a small village, a man was found mortally wounded, the soft summer light falling on his fading figure. The landscape that inspired him days before witnessed his final hours. Vincent van Gogh's passing marked the end of a turbulent life dedicated to art and barely recognized success. His death deeply affected his brother Theo, who worked to protect his legacy. The village prepared a modest burial at the cemetery of Auvers-sur-Oise. There was no great public attention at the time, yet his work soon began influencing artists and collectors. The paintings left behind contrasted sharply with the bleakness of his final days. The fields where he painted remain as silent witnesses. They stand as reminders of a man who continued working almost until the end. Vincent's last 48 hours reveal a quiet decline rather than a spectacle. The historical record remains limited, but the outcome is certain. The world gained an artist whose vibrant canvases outlived the silence of his last days. Within those final hours, he still searched for light amid darkness.